everybody. I think we're live. This is Ren Carruthers with your Future Stars Friday Forecast follow-up edition. And let's talk about a follow-up because we had Bast and Donna Veloce. Donna Veloce was second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Bast was third that day, but she flipped the script in the Grade 1 Starlet, wiring the field. Donna never got past her. We thought we were going to have a really exciting chance for a duel there at the end. But Bast, she went ahead, won your Grade 1 Starlet. That's the third Grade 1 of her career. Donna, no shame in defeat. The track was good, sealed that day. And the other cool fact about this is both fillies are by Uncle Mo, who was your 2010 Eclipse Champion Juvenile. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile as well. So it's kind of neat to have that under the girth as a sire. And we'll be looking forward to what these two do next. Obviously, you know, we're months away, but it's never too early to start thinking about the Oaks. Now, also tomorrow, we have some more horses who are running out of the Future Stars Friday card. You have in the Remington Springboard Mile, which offers 10 points toward the Kentucky Derby to the winner. You have... it is, my gosh, I have to think for a second who we've got. It is Shoplifted. I'm so sorry about that. It's been a long day over here at the Carruthers household. But Shoplifted, he was 7th in the TVG Juvenile. He's going to be, again, trying to pick up 10 points toward the Kentucky Derby. He drew post 9. It's a field of 12. He's 5-1 on the morning line. So it'll be interesting what he does. He, of course, is trained by Steve Asmussen, and Ricardo Santana takes the call aboard him. But on the phone, and this is what I'm really excited about, I have Kirk Wycoff, the managing partner of Three Diamonds Farm, on the line. They have Chimney Rock, who was second in the Juvenile Turf Sprint, going on the dirt in the Louisiana Juvenile tomorrow for the Louisiana Champions Day. So how excited are you, Kirk?
Always great to see Chimney Rock back in those Three Diamond Silks. He's been a real pleasant surprise this year. We went to the Louisiana yearling sale a year and 3-4 months ago, and we ended up buying 10 or 11 horses, and he's certainly the best one so far to come out of that group.
Well, how exciting is that? Because when I'm looking here, you know, as a yearling is selling for $18,000, he's now made over $300,000. I mean, you've been known as somebody who's teamed up with, you know, great people around you and finding horses that can, you know, I don't want to call them bargains, like as if they're coming from the bargain, but they're not. They're classy horses. You're just recognizing in them something that other people are passing over, and you've had great success doing it.
Well, we have a great team of people that help us select the horses, but we like the breeding side of it, and obviously Artie Schiller is a horse that we like, and we like turf racing, and so we're always looking for a good physical by Artie Schiller. In this case, Chimney Rock was, while he doesn't have a lot of stakes winners in his pedigree, he was out of a mare that won over $400,000. And if I'm not mistaken, she probably had double-digit wins. So she had some real toughness to her, and that's what we liked about this horse.
Well, I like a lot about the fact that he's faced such good horses. I mean, you look at the running line here. I mean, even on debut, that race was taken off the turf. It was a 5-furlong sprint, sloppy going. You know, he showed pace, just sitting off half length. Tuggle, last out, he was the one that set the pace in the Grade 3 Pilgrim, which was won by Structer, who is now your Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Champion. Montauk Daddy, who was second that day, he set the pace in the Skidmore Stakes and was third to Another Miracle, who was third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Sprint, and was last 6 beaten, but only 3.5 lengths in the Atlantic Beach. So these are horses that it wasn't fluky that they ended up running 1-2 in an off-turf event. They actually still have the class. But then after that, I mean, you're facing the likes of Kamari. You're only beating a half length in the Indian Summer. Kamari is a horse, I mean, filly or not, this is a horse that really can throw down. She beat males there in the Indian Summer, including your boy. And she had faced some horses like Raffle Prize over in Europe. And Raffle Prize is a horse who went on to knock heads with some of the biggest names over there in the 2-year-old turf division. And then you're here in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. I mean, you were right there. And you had the disadvantage of the one hole, but you still were able to, you know, get out of the gate well, go ahead and just put in a really game second place performance, beating only 3/4 of the length by Four Wheel Drive, who is undefeated. But now, yes, you are switching to the turf. Artie Schiller, for those who don't remember, Artie Schiller won the 2005 Breeders' Cup Mile, which of course is on grass, and that was over Leroy DeSanimo. But the thing that I think is really neat is that the mare that you're discussing, his dam, is by Wheaton. Wheaton was a dirt horse. Wheaton is a half-brother, or was. He's passed away since. But Wheaton was a half-brother to Stormcat. And the other cool pedigree factor you have going for, that justifies the surface switch is that Chimney Rock's second dam, his grandmother, is a daughter of Sheikh Al-Badu. And while he was a multiple Group 1 winner over in Europe, he won the 1991 Breeders' Cup Sprint over Pleasant Tap. And then he was fourth in the 92 edition, just nosed out for third by Rubiano. So you do have that dirt pedigree, and you obviously have the speed, which must be very encouraging to you.
Well, physically, this horse looks like a dirt horse. Mike Maker's never known to have the horses geared up first out. They went pretty fast in that first race in the slop. Not surprised he got a little tired.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, we went from June 21st to August 3rd looking for a race. Twice he was entered on the turf, and the races came off, and we really wanted to go to the turf because of the Artie Schiller.
Right.
And then we ended up in a longer race, where he did press the pace for some period of time, but we just don't think he really wants to go that long. But from our standpoint, dirt or turf may not be the issue that matters. It may be more the pace and shape of the race.
Yes. Well, you definitely have enough speed in here, but as you said, I mean, your horse, I don't know, it looks to me like he's versatile, right? So however that pace shapes up, it looks like you have your options with him because he's not a need the lead type, it appears.
I actually think he's a dead closer.
Yeah, that's what
if you watch the race at Kentucky Downs, he got really bounced around out of the gate about an eighth of a mile out of the gate, or he'd have beaten Cambria that day. He beat her at the Breeders' Cup. And then at the Breeders' Cup, honestly, we knew when we sent him there that 5 furlongs was too short because he doesn't have lightning speed out of the gate. But when we drew the one hole, Jose just made a good decision. And unfortunately for us that day, there was plenty of speed in that race, and none of them went with four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
so,
right.
We had to chase, and we were neck and neck. And I thought Jose did a great job, kind of just taking off to give him a breather. But with nobody else to push four-wheel drive, we couldn't get to him at 5 furlongs. It was 5.5 or 6. It might have been a different story.
Well, that's the thing. And, as I'm looking over these PPs, it looks to me like it's going to set up. You have Pickens, who has early speed. You have Richard Ronald with early speed. Binding Agreement might be the other horse is that the horse you're looking at as potentially?
Well, look, he ran a great race. I read Al Stahl's comments. I'm not surprised he's in the race. But, I think Mr. Stahl said that they don't know what he beat. He's going to have to beat good horses to win tomorrow night. I don't know that we're going to win, but I know that we're going to show up.
Well, this horse has never let you down from what I'm looking at. And like you said, yes, he likes to come from off it. So it was all the more, to me, as I'm looking at this, it's encouraging that he was able to, sit so close in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint against, who are top juvenile turf sprinters. So it's all a matter of class. And your horse, I mean, you've run well, whether it's been at Belmont, Saratoga, Kentucky Downs, Keeneland, Santa Anita. I mean, this is such a horse that is just one for a course. I don't see any reason why the same shouldn't be true here. He ships well, obviously, right?
Right, he does, but he's been at the fairgrounds for a couple of weeks, I think.
Okay. Yes.
He's got one breeze down there. He's plenty fit, to be honest with you. We wouldn't typically be running 2-year-olds in December that have had this many races, but there are very few sprints for straight 3-year-olds until next April.
Yes.
So after this race, we're big believers in giving our horses 60 days off. Usually in December, January, February, we've got 8 or 9 turf horses that we've already sent to the farm, and so we wanted to try him on the dirt. We thought this was the right spot, and then following this, he'll get 60 days off at Blue Water in Kentucky.
Oh, that's very nice. Let's talk about your relationship with Mike Maker and your history with Three Diamonds. One of the cool things that you guys have done together is Bigger Picture, right?
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, I mean, Bigger Picture is a horse that went from the claiming ranks and now it went off to be a Grade 1 winner over almost $1.5 million in earnings. That's exciting.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we like turf racing. I mean, it's not as bad to win on dirt, but we operate on a limited budget, and it's very hard to compete on the Saturday afternoon races on the dirt without a very large budget. So we decided 7 years ago to look for turf horses. Mike Maker's, he's an expert at stretching horses out, and we use our pedigree analysis to tell us about that. So, Bigger Picture by Silver Badge. Mm-hmm. He's back in training as we speak.
Oh, wonderful!
Going to go to Houston to try and win the Connolly for the 4th time in a row at the end of January. Obviously, 2 horses that came out of the claiming ranks, Marzo and Cross Border, are running together in the Fort Lauderdale tomorrow at Gulfstream in a Grade 2. So this is Mike's specialty, and why we like it is if you treat the horses right and give them the proper time off, they run when they're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
yes,
and maybe even 9. So that's been real joy for my son and myself and our family.
Your son Jordan and your wife's name's Deborah?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's awesome. Now, you were telling me you're in New York, you're having fun with family and friends. How will you be watching all the racing action tomorrow?
Well, we'll I think probably end up in our hotel room because Turbo Drive is in the $500,000 race at Aqueduct at 4:20. I think Chimney Rock runs at 4 o'clock, and Fort Lauderdale goes at 3:50. So it'll be a busy hour.
That is no doubt about it. We wish you the best of luck with all of your horses. We will, of course, be keeping especially keen eye on what Chimney Rock does tomorrow. He is a Future Stars Friday alumni, and we're just excited to see how these horses mature as they go into their 3-year-old season. I want to thank you so much for your time, Kirk.
All right, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much again.
Bye-bye.
And this has been your Future Stars Friday follow-up edition. Again, Chimney Rock tomorrow in the Louisiana Juvenile Stakes on Louisiana Champions Day goes off as race 8 on the card. He is your 8-5 favorite. His John Post 7 looks like he's got speed to run at. And then, of course, again, Shoplifted going after Kentucky Derby points in the Remington Springboard Mile. That is going to be pretty exciting to watch. Juvenile action. We're gonna keep following it all through into 2020 as we head into the Kentucky Derby and the Oaks. Until next time, I will see you back here next week on the Future Stars Friday Forecast Follow-Up.